welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my Asexualise. This is a place to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my asexual journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying the content as we go along. If you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. Well, welcome to tonight's episode. And yes, this channel finally has 500 subscribers. I logged in tonight and I'm like, wow, that is really amazing. I am so grateful and so thankful for every single one of you being here. Every single one of you, right? I am so pleased, and I just want to share the love that I feel right now for you being here. You know, I'm amazed. I just feel really excited, really incredible, really happy. I just love this community, you know, because I know the people here. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. I know the people here that join my community. I know that you guys really make a difference to this channel because you tune in a lot. I know some of you tune in every single time I go live, which sometimes I go live at very bizarre times. Other times I try to stick between 11 p.m. and 12 p.m. Well, 11 p.m. and should I say 12 a.m. because it's midnight in the UK. I try and stick between those two times of when I start. But as you know, I can end up talking quite a lot for about an hour on average lately with the live stream. So, and I know I get a lot of messages from you. I've got a message from someone on Twitter that watches my videos a lot recently. I get people who email me and people who come on my chat bubble. And, you know, you guys just are awesome. Everywhere I'm getting on dating sites and all sorts, just people talking to me, say, I bought your book, or, you know, I look at your videos. I really think they're good. You know, they help me a lot. And, you know, people on Facebook private message me, and I cannot tell you how happy it makes me when I get the feedback I do on this channel. You know, like, I don't have as many subscribers as everyone else. You know, there's quite a lot of other asexuals that have thousands and thousands of subscribers, but, you know, that's not the point, is it? The point is I'm here for you, this community, which is my own community, and I'm so grateful and thankful because I think my community is so unique because I do post content, some of which is controversial. You know, I do post content that is a bit taboo sometimes. I do post content that's for everyone across the asexual spectrum. So sometimes there might be like some videos I do where I'm actually I am actually a personally sex repulsed asexual these days, for me, only for me. And so I might post some videos where I really like, I hate sex, I don't want anything to do with it, it's disgusting. And then I might post another video, well, do a live stream I should say, where I'm talking like pro-sex, even though I don't want it myself, because, you know, I do have sexual friends and I do understand being in heterosexual relationships for like half of my life. I do understand where sexuals are coming from, so I feel like I'm really good place to basically see things from both sides. But obviously I'm very for asexuals because that's why I'm here for you guys, because, you know, we need to be loud and proud and we need to get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation throughout the globe, so no asexual has to live in fear of ridicule ever again. That is my main mission. That is the purpose I'm doing this channel, you know, to help you, to give you a voice, to speak for you, and to answer any questions live. You know, you can ask me anything live. I don't know any other asexual channel that does that every single day. Ask me anything you want about asexuality, anything, just in live chat, me to you straight away. Do you know what I mean? And that's why I love this channel so much, because I think it's very rare that you get any person on any channel live stream every single day. I know some people that upload videos, but they'll like record 14 in one go and then they'll upload a video a day, but they've already pre-done them. This is live, this is happening in real time, this is you guys and me. Do you know what I mean? And I've been live streaming now on this channel since July last year, and I've not missed many nights. There are a few nights I've missed but not that many. The first one I missed last year, I think, was around Christmas time. And that was because my best friend was in hospital. I've actually been to the doctors today, but I didn't really want to say that to you. And I got to go for further tests. But doesn't really matter because I'm in a happy mood. I got 500 subscribers, so hey ho. But if you see me getting a little bit woo, that's why, because I keep getting dizzy lately, and so they got to do further testing on me, so hopefully everything will be okay once they found out exactly what the problem is. But I'm just so happy. I wanted to like talk to you, about what happened with this channel. I mean, in 2014 was when I first discovered I was asexual. If you didn't know how I first discovered that, it was because I went to a counsellor because I just couldn't deal with the fact that whenever I dated heterosexual guys, at the end of the night, the expectation would be there that I would have sex with them. And as an asexual, someone who is lacking in sexual attraction and doesn't get the need, urge, want for it, I just couldn't have sex anymore. Me and the ex split up in 2011, November the 5th, 2011 it was. So it's now 2019, we're in October now. So I'm going to have my 8-year anniversary of being free from that person, because it was a very abusive relationship in lots of ways, but not sexually. He was very, very good sexually. I have to say that about him. He's very good in terms of sex. And he was like a completely different, kind, nice person. Like that. I will... even though I don't like a lot of the other things that was really good. And I'm very glad that I had that experience. I didn't have a bad sexual experience. That my last long-term committed relationship was sexually very, very positive. I'm glad I had that myself. I think it's horrible when you've had negative experiences. And I have had negative experiences as well with that, as you know, if you followed my journey. But 2014 is when I discovered I was asexual, and the counsellor didn't tell me I was. The counsellor said you must have sex in order to keep a good guy, and I was absolutely horrified. I mean, the whole point of a person being good for you is that they are in tune with you, is that they have, you're singing off the same hymn sheet together, you're liking the same sort of things, you're compatible basically. But I don't like sex, don't want it, don't need it. And I've got a guy who she's basically saying, oh, you have to have sex with a guy, any guy for any good guy will need sex. I mean, that's not a good guy for me, is it? Because it's not a compatible guy. Right. And so I was really, really upset. And that's when I Googled, I love kissing but not sex, which I don't know why I never Googled that before, but I never did. And then it came up with asexuality, and the rest, they say, is kind of history. But I mean, it wasn't until October 2015 that I actually started this channel. So I've been going, where are we now? I've been at 2019 we are now. So it's like 4 years now. Like this month is actually my 4-year anniversary on this channel. And it's like, wow, do you know what I mean? It's like, I think it was the 15th of October I uploaded my first video. But so it's like 4 years. It's taken me 4 years to get 500 subscribers, which I wasn't live streaming though in the beginning. I was doing a video every now and again. Then I tried to do a video once a week. But since I've been live streaming, that's when I get many more people have subscribed to my channel. It's gone up a lot in the last year, and I'm really grateful and thankful for that. And the more people I talk to on different social media, the more people are coming and saying they see my videos, even though I don't know them at the time they're watching it, because obviously I don't always know who's watching. Unless you comment, I don't know who's watching. I can tell how many people's watching. There's like 4 people watching me at the moment, at this precise moment in time. And sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down. But I love to all of you who are watching now. I just wanted to share that with you because, prior to me doing this channel, I didn't speak about sex. Like when I was with my ex or exes in the past, I wouldn't tell anyone else about my sex life. Like some, I'm going to use a stereotype, some women, because I am a woman, girl, if you want it, whichever you prefer, but I prefer girl usually. I'm female anyway, and a lot of females, they do tell their female friends, don't they, about, about sex stuff, but I didn't. I always kept stuff to myself. I mean, obviously I didn't have that many friends in the past. I've got more friends now, particularly asexual friends, which is another huge benefit of having this channel, having the asexual community, it's amazing. And it feels so good to have asexual friends, like incredible. And so, I didn't really talk about sex prior to coming on this channel. And now I talk about it quite a bit to help other people, to help people understand how different asexuality is to normal heterosexuality, for example, or other sexual connotations as sexual. Do you know what I mean? I kind of like, because I've lived in sort of the sexual world, the heterosexual dating scene, the heterosexual relationship scene, I don't just talk about relationships from a observational point of view. I talk about it from my own personal experience, and I also talk about being on asexual dating sites from my own personal experience. There are some people that do channels, and they're for asexuals, and we can talk about anything. And I talk about aromantic sometimes, and I'm not aromantic. And there are other people that talk about relationships to do with an asexual dating when they don't even do asexual dating. But I specialize in asexual dating because I'm literally living and breathing dating all the time. I'm on asexual dating sites, asexual dating app. I'm in groups trying to find someone. So I literally do share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. And I had to break through a lot of barriers to start doing this channel in the first place, because I would say even back in 2015, I was still, like, in terms of social media, yes, I was loud in some areas, but not for the type of thing I do on this channel, Like, this channel, I've really had to, really push through my fears. Like, I've talked about masturbation on this channel. That's really personal. I never even tried it before I found out I was asexual, and it's very personal. And it's like, and when I did that video about, my personal view on masturbation, I mean, God, I was so scared about doing it, which you guys probably didn't realize. But in order to help you, I have to come out of my shell more. I have to discuss more topics. I have to discuss more intimate things. Well, I don't have to, but I feel that I should, because I feel I should be honest and true and real, and I should reveal my personal thoughts and things, because I know you guys, a lot of you, don't do that type of thing. You're not, I mean, you don't have to. You're not really promoting asexuality. Some of you, you've got your own private lives. I'm very much in the public, and as a member of the public who's asexual, and I do this channel, I feel I have a duty of responsibility somewhat to be able to share with the world part of the asexual life journey, and also some of my intimate thoughts and feelings, so people can understand asexuality better. Do you see what I mean? And so that you understand that I understand you, that you can relate to me. Because, do you know what I mean? If you go on a channel and you've got nothing to relate to the person about, it's quite difficult. And I know, me being like the way I am, I've got lots of different nuances to myself. Like, I do get aroused despite not experiencing sexual attraction, and that's kind of a hard concept for me to get my head around sometimes, And like I said, this channel's very broad. It's very, very broad. I'm not an aromantic asexual, so I think sometimes some of the other channels that have an aromantic person who hosts the channel tends to get a lot of subscribers or viewers, because more asexuals are aromantic. But I try to do, a variety of videos. Sometimes I might talk about demisexual, sometimes I might talk about aromantic, sometimes I talk about romantics. So I really try and keep everything within the asexual sphere, the asexual spectrum, but I try to, like, diversify who I'm talking to in different videos, even though I'm talking to all asexual. Do you know what I mean? I do videos for different types of asexuals, and I also talk, like I said, about my own asexual life journey. I've really, for me personally, I've overcome a lot in my life on this channel, because I've been very, very open, blunt and honest, more than I've ever been in my life before, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, I've told you some really traumatic stuff from my childhood that I didn't even really talk about much before. And so I think that's been, like, sometimes it's a bit, like, hard, and other times it's very cathartic, it's very therapeutic. It's like I get it out, it's out in the open now. There's no secrets anymore, there's nothing to worry about anymore, there's no holding it in my brain anymore. Do you know what I mean? And so that can be quite good, but it can also be very difficult, because I'm kind of reliving some of those past moments. And one thing I find hard on this channel is I do bring up my long-term ex a lot, which is difficult, because he wasn't, apart from sexually, he wasn't good in a lot of ways, but it's the only last long-term committed relationship I've ever had happened to be that person, because I haven't found the right asexual guy to be in a relationship with yet. And the people I've dated a few heterosexuals, as you know, and there's like an asexual guy. There's only been one that I've ever considered, and that ended up just being online, and I've met them in person, and that was only for a short time. So, I don't have experience of actually being fully in a proper asexual relationship. It's something I'm looking forward to, something I believe will happen one day. But I also do a lot of self-love videos on this channel because I really think that the most important relationship you could ever have in this world is with yourself. And I think it's really important that you know that. And when I was doing my talk at a UK asexuality conference last year in 2018, there was like 2 talks. There was one major talk that was just my talk that was on how to arrange an asexual meet. It was like a 45-minute presentation. And I did have my best friend Sam, who came on stage and had a guest spot. They come to every meetup. Well, every national meetup that I do, usually they attend, because I do local and national meetups, and the difference is just the way they're organised. Anyone can come to a local meetup, but I give people plenty of notice to come to a national one, and we kind of will do more things, like as in go away out of the city, not just something local. So if it's local, I might only give them like a week's notice. Do you know what I mean? Someone who's travelling far, they need more notice for accommodation and transport and stuff like that. But it's just incredible. Like, since doing this channel, I've made so many friends online as well. There's Heather, who I have to give a big shout out to. She's incredible. She follows this channel a lot, gives me lots and lots of support. A person called My Life recently joined this community. They are very, very good. They give me a lot of support. But there's also a lot of people. There's a guy called Roger, who gave me a donation for this channel some time ago, and they watch when they can. They're amazing. There's some of my best friends that watch this channel. They're all amazing. And I know a lot of you watch in silence because you're not like me, loud and extroverted. Oh dear me. But the point is, I've really had to get out of my shell doing this channel. I'm more outspoken now, really, than I've ever been before, I think. Do you know what I mean? And it does take guts, I think, whoever's doing a channel, not just me. I think it takes a lot of guts to be able to do a YouTube channel, and to be able to consistently do it, and to be able to really share parts of your life with other people in the world. I think it takes a lot of courage. I'm not just talking about my channel, I'm talking about all the other asexuals and all the other different channels out there, people that share their own personal journey. It's incredible. And what I always remember is one of the people who watches this channel, called Melissa. Hello, Melissa, if you're tuning in today. She said to me, this will always be like a legacy, the videos on this channel. And I'm like, I never really thought about it like that, but I've done so many videos, like since 2015 there's been a lot, but like in the last year there's like tons of them, because it's like, usually I try to do a video every single day, and I just love it. I feel like I'm meant to just do this. I feel I was always born to help asexuals, even though I didn't realise that. I feel as though I was born asexual but didn't realise it. There's very, very obvious signs now I look back. John, I started a gay relationship earlier this year. I am ace and he is celibate. It's working out great, but we both have people in our lives who don't understand us, ignore ignorance or ace-phobia / hom. Oh, John, first a big kiss and welcome to you. And he is celibate. I have to congratulate you on your relationship. That's incredible. Really, really incredible. Well done. And the fact he's celibate is great. Who don't understand ignorance and ace-phobia, I would just ignore them. I mean, do you know what I mean? If they don't understand. Sorry, just drinking water. If they don't understand, it's really their problem. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, if they're going to be like insulting or rude to you, then just walk away and just leave them be, because you don't need that in your life. I have a lot of my friends that are guys, or present physically guys, even if they don't if they're non-binary, they like other guys. There's more in my circles of asexuals, friends and everything. Most of the people I know, the guys, they prefer guys. So obviously I'm a heteromantic, so it's kind of difficult for me. But I think it's beautiful. I think gay love is beautiful. I think asexual love is beautiful, and I think it's wonderful if you found a guy who's celibate for you and understands you as well. You know, I think that's the main thing, John. You have to focus on you and your guy, really, and all that matters is what you think and what you care about. Do you know what I mean? I think it's very sad when people are homophobic or acephobic. I mean, most of the time I haven't experienced much acephobia. I don't tend to use that word because I don't tend to have that many people. It's more like I do get some horrible comments sometimes that I just delete or block on this channel, you know, and sometimes I get them in private message, but not very often, you know. On it's something that I just have to like delete and get rid of out of my life because there's no point in dwelling on it. These people just, you know, these people have nothing better to do with their time. Then I'm like, well, it's a bit sad. I feel sorry for you. Do you know what I mean? And just have to wish them well and on their way and ignore them or block them. And I'm really sorry you've experienced that, you know, really sorry because like you said, it is ignorance, and I'm glad you really understand that, John, that it is ignorance. It's not your problem or fault. It's not your partner's problem or fault. It's their ignorance. And I think, you know, even some people who aren't like that, I think it's hard for even some people who are, you know, like who are my friends from outside the asexual community. I think sometimes it's hard for them to understand asexuality, you know? People don't tend to understand how you can't have any need, urge, or want for sex. They just don't get it because the world very much revolves around being conditioned from an early age to believe you want, need, like, have to have sex, and that everyone feels that way. But I honestly know what it feels like to not feel that way. And so, you know, it's really important that we have asexual channels, like all the asexual channels we have, not just mine, but it's really important that we have that. It's important we keep doing a lot of work. You know, I know that there's a lot of introvert people who are asexual rather than extroverts, and that's why you kind of need the extroverts or people that are introverted but more able to be more extroverted in the sense of, you know, have channels and spread the word, because you know, it's really important. Some people will say like, why do you need to talk about asexuality? You know, people don't go around talking about, you know, like they're making a big deal about being heterosexual. I'm kind of thinking, yes, they do. There's advertising all over the place that's geared towards heterosexuality. There's like advertisements on buses, films, television programs, stationery, t-shirts, merchandise. Everything's geared towards heterosexuality the majority of the time. And so, you know, it's really important that we counteract that by presenting other sexualities to these people so that they got an idea that it's not just their sexuality that's the only sexuality that should exist and that should be here. You know, if no one shows an alternative way of being or living or doing or having, then how is anyone ever going to change? How is anyone going to ever have an open mind? How is anyone ever going to expand themselves and grow? Because part of personal growth is accepting things that are different, or at least trying to understand them and researching about them and finding out from them whether you agree with them or not. Do you know what I mean? And so I think it's really important that we do spread the word on asexuality. It's very important, you know. The more we make asexuality better understood, the more people will accept us. And that's why it's so important that there are people who do activism work. There are people that speak up for asexuals. It's very, very, very important, you know. I don't want generation after generation of kids, for example, even though I haven't got any kids of my own, I don't want them growing up thinking that everyone's going to have sex, and that when they're at school and they're feeling like upset, and I just don't feel like that in my body, I just don't get it. I don't want them to feel like there's something wrong with them and they need to hide themselves and no one understands them. But you know, that's very much, I think, how some people feel. That it's, you know, I think it's hard when you're at school. I really do, because you've got to go to school because you're obviously, your parents need to send you to school, and then you're in a situation that's confined, and trying to be yourself in that type of environment is virtually impossible if you're different, you know. And if you are yourself, you stand out like a sore thumb. And I think even if you you know, don't try to purposely stand out. You just do a lot of the time when you're different. People can see that your facial expressions are different, your body language is different, you don't feel the same way as them. Do you know what I mean? You can tell just by looking at someone sometimes that they're different. And I don't want kids growing up thinking, every single kid believing that having sex is the only thing that binds people together in a relationship. I just think it's one of the most worst messages we can give to someone, and I do think there should be a greater understanding with LGBT and asexuality. I think it's very difficult because asexuality tends to be clumped with LGBT. I think it's very difficult for a sexual person to understand the difference. That's why sometimes I get accused of, oh, you're a lesbian. Then if I tell someone I'm asexual, I'm like, no, I'm really not a lesbian. I never get attracted to women. It's only guys, but romantically, not sexually. So I think it's very difficult with us being part of the acronym and like that. I mean, I have gay friends, I have lesbian friends, I think it's great. But I do think asexuality needs to be recognised in its own right as well, because people don't know the difference else, and there's a very distinct difference. Like, we're not sexually attracted to anyone. LGBT is I mean, they're still sexually attracted. So I think it's good to support each other, but I think it's also good to make a very, the very distinct difference between that, because, even if LGBT is, hopefully they do get in schools like they were going to, then I hope, I want asexuality to be seen as separate, but, obviously working with LGBT. I want asexuality to be in school. So, because obviously LGBT is still sexually attracted to someone, that still gives a message to young children that sex has got to be part of a relationship, whereas asexuality gives a message that, that doesn't. And I think that's really, really important. And I'm really proud that you found someone who's gay and celibate, because that's just a win-win, isn't it, really? It's really good. And the fact you understand each other, I did see someone on ASAP recently who said they're heterosexual but want purely like celibate love or something like that, they put. So I think it's nice. I mean, the only problem I see, not with you obviously, but I'm talking about like some people I've known through asexual dating sites that are not asexual. A few of them have said the reason they're on this site is because they've been hurt by someone. And it's kind of like they're using asexual dating sites just to get someone because they're wounded because they were the person cheated on them or something, which isn't the reason to get with an asexual. You have to make sure that if you are going to be with an asexual, you can actually live that type of life. Do you know what I mean? Not just because you've had someone cheat on you or split up with you. I think that it's coming from the wrong place. It's coming from a place of lack within the human, rather than from an actual whole place choosing to be like that. It's very different from someone who's celibate and they've chosen to live that way, to someone who comes on the dating site just like, oh, I've been hurt by my girlfriend, so I've decided to not have sex for a while. Usually it is as well. It's not indefinite. Or that it's for a certain time. And I think that can be damaging to both people, because it doesn't let the sexual heal, and it just basically saying that they're pushing their urges or real needs away temporarily because they're going to go with an asexual that's theoretically not going to hurt them. And that's not really what we're about. We're a sexual orientation in our own right that deserves to have a partner who loves us, respects us, and understands us for who we are, not just having us because a sexual person's hurt them or cheated on them. Do you know what I mean? That's not a reason to get with an asexual person. I'm just glad you found someone good for you, John. It's really good. And I've heard quite a lot about asephobia being out there. I mean, I don't know whether it's because I don't go in those circles or what, but I mean, I've got a lot of people who are not asexual, as well as people who are asexual, connect to me on Facebook. And I don't really, the majority of the time, I don't get much problem, because a lot of them are quite mature. A lot of them are entrepreneurs. Like half of the people I speak to are business people, and they know me as the asexual entrepreneur, and they know me as doing asexual stuff, and they're really accepting. I mean, I don't tend to get much problem. There's only been a couple, and I just defriend them. If they start getting You know, like one person, when I first started my Asexualized Academy Facebook page, you know, I just invited all my friends to like it. I mean, obviously a lot of people that aren't asexual didn't like it, you know, which is fine. This one guy got a bit shirty with me. He's like, why you send me this? What relevance is this to me? And I'm like, well, I'm sending it to everyone. He goes, yes, but what relevance is this to me? And I said, well, I don't know if you have sex. I don't know if you're asexual or not. I'm just sending it to everyone. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't ask your personal life. How can I tell whether you're asexual or not? You might be, for all I know. And he was kind of a person who was preaching God, which, you know, I have my own relationship with God. I have nothing against that, but it's kind of like when someone preaches it as in opposition to what you're doing or what you are, that kind of like angles, I don't think it's a very healthy angle. So anyway, I just unfriended that person. You know, if it upsets them that much that I just ask them to like a page, then obviously they're not the right person for me to be friends with on Facebook. But you know, it's really important to, you know, like just try and ignore people who are ignorant, because some people, doesn't matter what you say to them, they're always going to be ignorant. They're always going to not agree with you, not, you know, and you don't need to waste your life and time on those people. They're really not worth their time. They're not worth your time. I mean, you know, they're not worth their own time either. That's me, they're just wasting their life away. But you know, I've been brought up thankfully by my parents. There was two gay guys that used to live around the corner from where I lived, and I was brought up by my parents to know that gay marriage is fine, you know, and that these two guys, they were just awesome guys, and they used to take their Labrador dog up the road. I used to see them, wave to them. They're still together as well. I saw them a few years ago on a train, because I don't live near my parents. Well, my parents don't live there anymore. But I lived there for years, and there was those two guys. I was always used to gay love. I wasn't used to lesbian love so much back then, because I didn't know any lesbians back then. But I mean, one of my schoolmates, they're a lesbian. I didn't know at the time, because they used to be into guys when I knew them. And they live with their partner. But you know, gays, I was always used to that, so I was always brought up that that was okay, that was fine. And I'm really grateful to my parents, you know, for that. You know, I didn't realize until I was on this channel and doing asexual stuff, and I learned more about the phobias out there, I didn't actually realize so many people were phobic against gays, because I've always been brought up that that's normal and right for some people to be like that. So I never thought anything of it. Do you know what I mean? To me, it's always natural for two guys. Like if I see two guys kissing or two guys holding hands, I just think that's really cute and sweet. And I've always been so used to seeing that, you know, and they're both guys were always lovely towards me growing up. They're always really kind, nice, respectful people, you know, and it just made me realize as well how much, in terms of open-mindedness, my parents were to introduce me into that type of like world. I mean, obviously this couple didn't live very far. They, like, I think it was 3 doors away from me, but the fact is that, you know, they didn't have to have such a positive attitude, and yet they did. And so I'm really grateful for that. And you know, I think my parents accept my asexuality. I think sometimes they get a bit fed up with me talking about it all the time, but it's like, I'm not going to stop talking about it. It's who I am, you know. Everything I do day in day out is for asexuals. I remember someone came on this channel who wasn't asexual recently, and they were like, so do you just talk about asexuality all the time? I'm like, yep, every single day of my life. Literally, there's no day that goes by that asexuality just doesn't come into my life. Like, I'm currently working on my second book for asexuals. I'm on this channel every day. I'm in asexual groups usually. I talk to asexuals. I've got asexual Facebook friends. I'm just like, my whole life revolves around asexuality. I can't describe it any other way. Like, I've got you know, I've got issues with my website SSL that I'm sorting out. I was just on the phone to my web host for like 138 minutes tonight trying to sort the SSL, because they've changed to their new servers, and unfortunately it's cocked my SSL up. So I'm getting that sorted out for you, so that, you know, the asexualized.com site will be easily accessible again. It's just something on there, and they've got to get fixed technically. There's something that's stuck, apparently. They need to get fixed. But I was on the phone like a long time. So that's, you know, like my primary website that's visited the most out of all my websites is asexualized.com. It's the one that's got the blog on, you know. But I can't do anything with it for the next couple of days anyway, because it's got to sort it, you know, they've got to technically do stuff to it, sort it out for me. So you know, but I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for being here, for 500 subscribers. To me, I'm so grateful and thankful for that. I know it's something I've worked hard to get. I just doesn't like pop in there, but I know the people in this community are very dedicated to this channel. They understand it a lot, they support this channel a lot, they comment, they like, they watch, they join in the conversations, and so it's a very, very interactive channel. It's not just a channel that someone clicks on a video, watches it, thinks that's great, and off they go again. It's a channel that's got a very diverse amount of people on it who are open-minded. It's got people who follow me that aren't even asexual, and I just really wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart and tell you how it all began. Really, I mean, the first video I did was actually from my Quirky Books TV channel. It was the one about virginity is awesome. That's the first one I released before I ever did an official asexual video just from this channel. And my first set of asexual videos was for Asexual Awareness Week, and if you didn't know, Asexual Awareness Week is coming up again at the end of this month, 20th of October, I believe, for 7 days. So yeah, that's coming up this month. So it's going to be awesome. So everything's happening. 500 subscribers in October 2019, 4-year anniversary in 2019, and Asexual Awareness Week again in 2019, October 2019. So it's going to be super exciting. Yeah. So anyway, I'm really excited for the book as well. Asexual Guide to Sex, you know, second book for asexuals. It's just amazing that I'm doing that. I've got 2 more books in the pipeline. So I just really, really happy, really feel fantastic about that. I just want to do more and more books for asexuals. I really want to spread the word as much as possible. Want to create better understanding, bridge the gap between sexuals and asexuals. You know, I want sexuals to understand us better, in other words, you know what I mean? I think we get the idea of sexuals quite a lot of the time, do you know what I mean? But I think they need to understand us a lot more. And you know, I can fill in the blanks. You know, I do understand where some sexuals are coming from, because obviously I've been in a heterosexual relationships for half my life. You know, I kind of get them in some ways. But anyway, so yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna end the video here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Just want to thank you once again for being here live with me in this community. I love you so much. Thank you so much. If you think anyone else is going to benefit from this channel, please share it. Please get them to subscribe to it. Get them to be part of this community as well. I'd love to have all your friends here as well. Don't forget to literally subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And just, you know, embrace your quirky and each other's, and keep sharing, keep liking, keep commenting, keep chatting to me, and I'll see you on the next video or live stream. Until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. I really appreciate you being here. Lots of love. Thank you so much. If you haven't seen this video, please do go and click through this video in the beginning and watch it through. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Lots of love. Take care. Bye.